What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 3 of Hit the Books, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down all the NFL matchups and trends for the week, provide analysis, and offer up our best bets and betting advice. So let's jump into this week's episode of Hit the Books. On this week's episode, we've made it through Week 1 of the NFL. Week 2 of the regular season is finally here, the week of overreactions. We have a full slate of games, 16 games in all, 2 special games on Monday night. I'm pumped to get into this week after a glorious week 1 of football. We also have some news from around the other leagues, the MLB, I believe a little, I don't know, I don't think it's NHL, but we'll see what we have on the slate. Also this week, longtime listener, brother of Ace, Big Hoss, joining us this week, and we are curious to see what he's got for the Ravens this season. So excited to have him on. Don't forget to check out our live stream every Sunday morning. We are ready to showcase our 5 favorite games of the week and give our winning bets on them. Sundays, 10 a.m. on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and more. All right, boys, let's jump into this week's episode and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Mackie, let's start off with you this week. What do you got for us?
Yeah, week 1 of the NFL is finally over. It feels like season's gonna fly by, but it's nice to see those Cowboys go to work. 40-0 win over the Giants. I'm the only person that could say
Beautiful.
I got to win. Only person I could say I got to win this week on this podcast. Those Yinzers over there not looking too good up in the Steel City. Over in New England, can't be upset about that effort, but still 0-1. So yeah, a lot to dive into after this week 1.
You said it, Mackie, not me, the Steelers. But let's shoot it over to Huff next. Huff, like Ace said, or like Mackie said, not a great performance out of the Steelers, but what do you got for us here, week 2?
Yeah, it was a tough Sunday on the card for me as well. I did avoid my Steelers on the card. I did not like them in that spot, and you lose, what was it, 30-7, something like that. Nothing was going for them. I did find a way to win some money on them. I took the Freiermuth first team touchdown, took that, and I'm now a massive Aaron Jones fan. So Aaron Jones and Pat Freiermuth made my Steelers loss a little better.
I feel that. I was on Steelers money line, but just was not the move on Sunday. All right, Ace, let's finish it off here before we jump into this week's episode. What do you got, buddy? Week 2 of the NFL. We're here.
Yeah, like the boys said, so hyped to be back in football season. I mean, best time of year. It felt like a holiday, almost as good as Christmas when I saw Scott Hansen come on the TV. But great weekend all around. Excited to get diving into it. Card leader this week. Sad week for us, but we're only up from here. But I do have breaking news. Got Big Hoss on the line. He can't make it this week. Hoss, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens are rolling, and I can't even get any word out on this. I mean, I'm going to have to go and buy a laptop just to be able to get the word on how Baltimore's going to steal the North. But if Huff keeps hitting those big bets, maybe he'll be able to buy one for me.
Yeah, so like I said, Hoss not able to make it this week. Hoping to get on soon. Laptop difficulties. Going to chalk up to that one. He's going to go out and buy one for next time. But yeah, ready to get going with the sports and football this week.
Sorry to hear it, Big Hoss. Well, we'll have to figure out a new solution to get him in. I'll work on something.
No, but he's going out and buying one now. All he has is the work computers. He went to go on it, and it was blocked. So he's like, I'm just going to buy one. Already asking me what I got. So if you got a good rec, send him his way.
Heck yeah, I absolutely will. All righty, well, no Big Hoss this week. Little change in the schedule, but that's all right. We got lots of football to dissect, the whole week 2 to go over, and I'm excited to jump in. Some notable dates to keep in mind. We will be in Dallas in 16 days doing our live stream all together there, as well as filming some content for the Cowboys-Patriots game. Real excited about that one. Let's get right into this week's episode, our starting segment for this week. Let's do top 3 NFL Sunday snacks or foods. Just what are your favorite snacks on a Sunday, NFL Sunday? We're right into week 2. It's a good time to start talking about what we're going to be eating each week. Mackie, you want to get us started?
Yeah, I'm not going to put weenies on a blanket on here like Ace probably is. But yeah, I could dive right into this. Number 3, we'll go with the wings. You got to have the wings. Honestly, you can go with the boneless in this situation as well. You kind of want to go bone in, but you'll go with the boneless.
Boneless?
I'm saying both. Relax over there, H. Number 2, just like the chili nachos, like that everything get messy and everything. Have it out on the ottoman while you're watching football. Just display it out there. Got to go with that for number 2. Number 1, I don't know. Give me a second to think.
Is it really number 1 if you can't think of it?
I wasn't going in order. I was just going like 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
Let's go with the beer. Just having a nice ice cold beer for the
Cop
games.
out.
Yeah, definitely a cop out, but it's a good number one to say the least. Nice ice cold beer while you're watching the games. Can't go wrong.
Mackie, I mean, you're not wrong. I was at my brother's house watching the games on Sunday. We had 2 TVs rolling, and what did we have? Pizza and Miller Lite. So, like, I mean, beer counts in my book. It's a good one to put at 1. But I can probably jump into mine here. Mine's off the rip. Didn't even know we were doing this one as a topic today, but that's all right. Mackie, I like the call with the slop nachos at number 3. Those are really good. You can cook them up. You can find whatever you got in your house, especially when you're midday chilling between the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. Like your team just lost. If you're me this week, like, what do I got? Oh, I got chips, some cheese. What else can we throw on? You can keep adding. That's my number 3. At number 2, I'm gonna go with the wings. Bone in though for sure. Definitely gonna go with the bone in there. That's a good thing to pick up. Any kind really, as long as we get some blue cheese on the side. And then at number 1, I'm gonna go with pizza. That's got to be number 1. Are you kidding me? Like if you ever go watch like football anywhere, it's like pizza. Who's bringing the pizza? What do you want on your pizza? At least 2 of them there. So those are my 3.
Can't believe we didn't hear the wrapped glizzies on Ace's top 3.
No, we already maxed that out at 2 times this year. 3rd time, not gonna be the charm.
Yeah, mine's pretty similar to Ace's. Number 3, although number 3, I'm going to throw you a wild card, buffalo chicken dip. That's my number 3. Number 2, I'm going pizza. Number 1, Mackie. I feel like every football Sunday that I was spent at Morgantown with you, we got wings. Number 1 is
Cajun
wings.
dry rub.
Yeah, and every time you came up to
Papa
Pittsburgh,
Allen.
yeah,
Dry rubs are goated, dude.
Yeah, you got to do the dry rub, the Cajun NFL Sunday. Nothing goes better. Pizza, wings, and beer. It's kind of like it's all together. But I got to go wings at the one spot.
If I'd wake up at 12:55, I'd walk upstairs and then we'd walk to Pop Allen's.
Perfect Sunday morning. Here's mine. I got buffalo chicken dip at 3 as well, Huff. I think it's just a classic, right? Number 2, I got the chicken wings. I'm ready for my 2nd annual Wing Fest on some Sunday here to watch some football, whip out the big ass turkey fryer and just go to town on some wings. And finally, at number 1, I got steak. Can't go wrong with a good piece of beef, whether you slice it up and put it on a sandwich or just eat it like a piece of beef. I mean, you can't beat it.
Beef.
Like Hyde Park before a Steeler game. Oh, well, that's different. But
I fucked up on the no buffalo chicken dip. It should have been on there, but you
it's a
can't
staple.
Can't remake the list, so I got to roll with what I got.
It's yours came from the heart.
Yeah, guess so.
Good stuff, boys. Let's jump right into some of these NFL headlines we have before we jump into week 2. First one here. Announced on Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers is out with a season-ending injury due to a completely torn left Achilles tendon that he did on Sunday against the Bills. Just a tough scene for the whole NFL. Love him or hate him, you hate to see him go out with such a big injury at such a high age for him at 38 years old. What are you guys thinking?
Before Ace rips this apart, no pun intended, on the torn Achilles, but I'm pretty bummed out by this too. I was just as hurt as most Jets fans. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take the Jets in that game. I did have a bunch of props. I did hit on them, but like I watched Hard Knocks. I was just as excited to see him in a Jets uniform as every single Jets fan. And just as a football fan aside, seeing him in the Packers uniform for the past 20 years, kind of like when Brady went to Tampa Bay, it was something exciting, something new to look for. It's like, okay, I've only seen Brady in a Patriots uniform my whole life, so seeing him go to Tampa Bay was exciting, going obviously to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that's what Rodgers was going to do in New York, but I mean, when you only get 4 plays, I cannot imagine being a diehard Jets fan right now. I'd be sick. But whoever wants to step in here, I just wanted to say that I was pretty bummed out.
Yeah, you just absolutely hate to see something like this. It's probably the most anticipated start that we were looking forward to. Everyone wanted to see Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform. Got to see him for 75 seconds, and then a 39-year-old decided to tear his Achilles, but just not something we wanted to see. I was actually watching the game with a Jets fan, and he was basically crying, saying the Jets are cursed. They go on to win the football game. So props to that defense, having a good game, having a good ending. Josh Allen likes to turn the ball over a lot. So future's not looking too good for the rest of the season for the Jets, but see what Zach Wilson can do, right?
It's a good team. Aside from the quarterback, now that's all they needed.
That's all they've ever needed, though.
You know what's crazy is like I I like this Jets team without Aaron Rodgers more than I liked it with Aaron Rodgers.
You like it more as a fan without
Yeah,
Aaron.
Yeah, I
Rodgers.
do. I really do. And like I don't mind them. Like Aaron Rodgers stuck up asshole leaving the Packers high and dry. That's crazy to me. I was a fan of him until he walked out. I don't like when people do that. Brady wasn't happy they did it, but the Patriots kind of cut ties with him on the other end, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, going into that, like crazy that they lost Aaron Rodgers. We'll get into that game. I mean, crazy that they won that game. I think they're still a team to not be messed with. Where were they last year? They were right around that playoff bubble with the Patriots and the Steelers. It puts them literally right in that realm with the Patriots and Steelers, and that's not a bad spot to be. You're in the playoff hunt. Aaron Rodgers, terrible news there. But yeah, I think they have enough pieces and the coaching to still be a very good team. You don't want to play against the New York Jets.
It's not a good place to be either.
No, but I didn't think they were much higher than it to begin with. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen how Aaron Rodgers did because I don't know. Like we had different views on what he would turn out to be. I thought he was regressing pretty quickly, and of course he's going to even faster now. But
If he even comes back, dude, I truly don't think he's
He's-
gonna play again.
He said he
you don't think
was.
he's going to rehab for that? But I could see Aaron
It's-
Rodgers as the competitor he is. He doesn't want to go out like that. I don't think.
The problem is it's at least a 9-month injury. When you're 39 years old,
Yeah,
it
you're
might be
40
longer.
coming back from that. It's
So,
the
He might even miss training camp next year. So I think he's going to want to come back. Does he come back 100%? Does he come back fully Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so, but I don't think he's retiring. I think he'll play another season.
You know what's tough is like in today's NFL, you don't even have to be that good. Like he would never be bottom of the league; he'd be mid tier. But like his drop off from what he once was, I wanted to see it happen in New York, not see him injure on the first play. The game's better with athletes like that. But yeah, I had the Jets projected to finish last in my division, and I still think they could. But that defense is no joke.
Yeah, I'll say I didn't have them making the playoffs before the season started, and they could. I was definitely wrong. They could still make the playoffs now without Aaron Rodgers. They definitely would have made it with him. They're going to be a bubble team now, definitely. That
defense is so good.
is good. Even though Sauce got picked apart, best player on the defense got picked apart, and the defense still had one of the best games of the week.
Jordan Whitehead made his incentive on interceptions in one game.
Granted, two of them were just airmails by Josh Allen being a dickhead, but yeah, he did have 3 interceptions in the same game, which is pretty cool.
Josh Allen, dude, crushed me on the card there with the -2. Would have had a big week if that swung the other way, 2-point swing. Yeah, he played terrible. Ball was so loose. Leads the league in interceptions the last 3 years. 2 years, whatever it is, but 56 interceptions I've seen leads in whatever time span it is. And
Get on Dak though. Everyone wants to get on Dak.
so much talent for Josh Allen too. You don't. It's hard to understand the decisions he makes.
Dude, he's either the best, like top 2 quarterback in the league, or he's one of the worst. I mean, it's crazy how this guy fluctuates with how well he plays. He's definitely like probably the most skilled quarterback in the league with his size and everything. The way he's able to move the ball, take hits, but he's just so stupid sometimes. That fumble doesn't even look like it didn't even look like a designed run. It looked like he panicked because he fumbled initially, just tried to run it up the middle, ran into his own lineman, and gave the ball back with 4.5 minutes left in a tie game on their own 40, I think it was.
Yeah.
So,
And you're not wrong, but going back to this Aaron Rodgers injury, we got to talk about that guy Zach Wilson who stepped in for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he didn't do much, but he did just enough at the end there, running the ball in. I mean, he clutched it up there at the end, and they're going to stick by him. We were talking about that today.
I know, and I think the one thing that was kind of a bummer too is I was excited to see, like, not necessarily this year because I wanted to see Rodgers play there, but like I think that was going to be the exact thing Zach Wilson needed, was sit behind a guy like Aaron Rodgers for a year, maybe a year and a half, and see what happens. If Rodgers got hurt maybe next year, he would have been like, no question, I'd be like, put him in there. I'm not saying he's not ready because he's been the guy there for the past year and a half. He's been a number 2 overall pick. He's dealt with this media before. But, I mean, he has a better team. He's stepping into a better roster than he's ever played with in the New York Jets. But I don't know. I think Zach Wilson was in a really good spot to sit behind Aaron Rodgers here for a year, maybe, like I said, maybe 2 years before Rodgers retires as a Jet. I don't know. But now we're going to have to see Zach Wilson out there and see what he can do.
if you think about it, I mean, he still has that mentor. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still going to be there teaching him through the entire season.
Yeah, now if
But-
anything, here's my thing. I don't mean to
He's
cut you
more
off,
of
but
a-
like, I think Nathaniel Hackett's done being the offensive coordinator. I think Rodgers is going to be the coordinator.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be like preseason all over again. If you watch any of the Jets games in preseason or Hard Knocks, Rodgers was standing there with a headset on the sidelines. He's going to be standing there with fucking one of those scooters or crutches and a headset. I guarantee it. Maybe not for a couple weeks after he gets the surgery and stuff, but I could definitely see him basically be their new offensive coordinator.
They're paying him, so why not use him, right?
I mean, technically,
Paying him more than Hackett.
he's going to be a better option than Hackett. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. Especially, like, Hackett's only there to coach Rodgers. Now he's not coaching Rodgers.
Well, he's only there because of Rodgers, but
Yeah, exactly. Even better. Exactly. So now he's not coaching. Now the guy they brought him there is not even coaching or playing.
Mariners win. Cash it.
Good stuff, boys. Another point here in the NFL. The Carolina Panthers head coach Frank Reich said
Reich.
that Reich. I knew it. Reich said that J.C.
Cornerback.
Horn's
Yeah, JC.
J.C. Horn's hamstring injury is serious enough that he's expected to miss extended time. Horn could need surgery and may land on the injury reserved list for the Panthers. Tough scene there. He got injured in training camp, or was it this past week?
I'm not exactly sure. I just saw this clear my phone today, threw this in here. I just don't think there's, for all the hope I kind of had for this Carolina Panthers team, I'm not saying there was a ton.
Kind of
But
surrounded by him.
yeah, I think him and Burns on the defense are the big two guys. And when you lose your guy over the top, it's going to be tough for Carolina because I wasn't too sold on Bryce Young's performance. I don't know about you guys.
Ew.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
he's
that
exactly what
offense
I
is
thought.
putrid. I think I might have said this. I don't remember if it was on the podcast Sunday morning or if it was when I was watching football. That's the worst offense in football by far.
Carolina?
Yeah.
Atlanta looked good though, Bijan. Bijan's the real
Yeah,
deal.
but it was still too close of a game for playing against that Panthers.
Divisional matchup.
Yeah, but still, like, you got to wipe the Panthers if you're any good, no?
Didn't they beat him by like 10, 14?
And did you watch the game at all, though?
It was definitely a close game until the end, but I think it ended up.
But it wasn't clean, though. Like, Drake London had 0 catches. Like, none of their receivers. I mean, LJR kind of ate on the ground with Bijan. Pitts didn't even do too much. Didn't do bad. But, yeah, it's Desmond Ritter. I don't know.
Alrighty, boys. Let's go through some of these games, our team's games from this week 1. The 49ers and the Steelers. Not a great matchup for the Steelers here, losing 30-7. Huff, any words on that? More than what you said in your intro?
Nah, I mean, there's not much else to say coming out of it. We have a big game Monday night coming up against a divisional rival and the Cleveland Browns that looked really good in a home game against Cincinnati. I think Pickett needs to have a huge performance to kind of put that one behind him. That's a tough 49ers defense. I don't want to say I expected that, but I expected it to be hard for them. And that's obviously why I didn't take them or bet on them on the money line because I wasn't sold on them to win that game. But when you lose a guy like Hayward, a defensive leader on the defensive line, I know you still have Watt, but that we lost Hayward now for a couple of weeks. He's going on the IR, so Deontay Johnson's now doubtful. The George Pickens is now immediately going to have to slide into a number 1 receiver role. So we're going to have to see what this young Steelers team can do because I'm still not sold on Matt Canada as an offensive coordinator, and the Steelers I don't know what he does, but they will not get rid of him.
It's locked in there.
Here's a good stat for you guys, at least. In the last 2 seasons, NFL teams that lose by 10 plus points in week 1 are 9-3-1 against the spread in the following week.
I saw that, Mackie. That's a fantastic
So,
stat.
Looking good for you guys at home in a divisional matchup. Not something I would really want to fade, but yeah, it's looking good for those Steelers at least.
Yeah, I mean, I was high on those 49ers coming into this week. That's a tough matchup for the Steelers. And on the live stream Sunday morning, you guys, even Mackie was siding with the Steelers there. My brother took them too. I was like, this is the play of the week. I locked this in when the lines came out originally. I think I might have even said that in the chat. Like, Niners -2 is one of my favorite lines. No disrespect to the Steelers, who I think are a good team, but that's just way too good of a team. That's the class of the NFC right there. Mackie, I know your Cowboys are on the up and up, but they're number 1 in our power rankings for a reason. I think that they're my Super Bowl pick this year. That team's loaded in every single position. Brock Purdy's going to make a career out of being Mr. Irrelevant. Not much the Steelers can do in that one, in my opinion. They're just overmatched in every position.
Yeah, Niners are pretty damn good.
If you think about it, solid coach, right, who's due for a ring. Great coaching tree coming off, and we love all the other guys that come out of the Shanahan tree. But they have one of the best offensive lines in football, the best defense, skill positions, you name it. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, some good depth behind them as well. Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the league. George Kittle, top 3 tight end. I mean, it's nuts the offense they have, and that's what you can do when you pay your quarterback what, like less than $1 million.
Nothing, basically
Yeah,
nothing.
he's Mr. Irrelevant. He doesn't make shit.
And he's balling. But I think the Steelers can bounce back. Another tough matchup though, because it's a divisional on Monday night. Like tough game to come back from playing the 49ers. I think
I
they're
like the prime time though. I like the opportunity.
that's a big
How about those
Steelers thing.
Browns,
Second
though?
game of the night too. Second game of the night in Pittsburgh. You got to hope that can bring some good juju. But like, yeah, I like the Steelers team to be pesky all year long and fight for a wild card spot. But schedule tough in the first week to the best team in the league, in the 49ers.
Just need that quarterback to step up.
You think that's what it is?
100%. 100%.
Defense is
Our
getting
linebackers
work.
look so bad too. I mean, our defense, TJ Watt was obviously does what TJ Watt does. I think he had a forced fumble and 3 sacks, but
That's a really good offense, so you're going to give up points to them. 30 might be a little much, but dude, Kenny Pickett was just not.
What about the field
not
position to
it.
get? But like Brandon Ayuk, I don't even think he's a top 10 receiver in the league, and he looked like one against their secondary.
Well,
he's the
not
most
the first-
underrated number 2
Definitely.
because
Definitely.
he's the most underrated number 2 receiver in the NFL, and I think it's just because
one.
everyone's so high
I
on
wouldn't-
Debo. I was going to say everyone's so high on Debo. I think Ayuk's a better receiver.
I
Than Debo.
wouldn't
He's a
even-
gadget.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call him a 2. I'd probably call him a 1. Debo's just an all-around good player. He's like more like a Cordell Patterson. But Brandon Ayuk is probably that number 1 option. I think he's Brock Purdy's number 1 at least.
That connection's been on fire ever since Purdy came into the league. And watching that beatdown of the Steelers in week 1, it just made you think, if only Purdy could have stuck around that whole NFC championship. We know those Eagles like to fumble the bag late.
Like I said, tough matchup there for the Steelers at 1 o'clock last Sunday. But those Patriots just barely falling to the Eagles, 25-20 there. That 4:30 matchup. Ace, what do you think about that? Patriots not able to conquer the Eagles there.
Yeah, and just as much hate as the Steelers just got from me. I mean, they're in the same exact spot as the Patriots. It doesn't matter by how much. You got to get the W's. That's all that matters week in and week out in this league. But the Patriots, I mean, crazy game if you watched it. Started off horrendous. Everybody in New England held their breath. They were shocked on Brady night, getting smoked after a tough pick 6 on Mac Jones. Bad ball, but tipped into the hands. Then Ezekiel Elliott fumbling on the very next play. We actually had a pretty good game. Just uncharacteristic plays on Belichick teams. But they came storming back with that top end defense, really shutting down an elite offense, an elite quarterback, MVP candidate with superstars all over the field. O-line, great. That defense, even really good. Mac Jones, 3rd or 4th in the league in passing yards after this week. I know it's kind of some garbage time and gifted great field position, but I mean, that's a tough defense, and he played the part. Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne stepping up. Tough game. Would have liked the W, but hopefully it bodes well for the rest of the season, hanging in with the juggernaut. Mackie, what do you got?
feed Zeke, am I right? No, I'm kidding, but but before I even turned around, it was 16-0 Eagles already because the turnovers. But dude, Patriots put up a good fight. Tony Romo even said they're not going to be a layover this year. They're going to be in every game, playing hard every game. Just got to find wins. And like I said, that Eagles team is good, and you guys, that defense just made Jalen Hurts' day a nightmare. And like I said earlier in the season, nobody really believed me, but I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a little more of a down year. Not a bad year, just nowhere to where he was last
regress
year.
a little bit.
Because that's
Yeah.
what happens. Quarterbacks like him, defenses know how to manage and adjust to players like that. And the Patriots did it perfectly. Matt Judon stalking him the entire game. He couldn't really do anything. He had one really good extended play 3rd down that I saw, but other than that, he really didn't do what he was doing last year. So, but that Patriots defense is definitely one of the best defenses in the league, and they're going to keep them in a lot of games this year. If that game wasn't 16-0 before I could even turn around, I think you steal that one.
Ace, I don't want to cut you off here real quick, but I was watching that game. The one thing I did notice about how you said Jalen Hurts is going to be different than last year, 4th and 2 or 4th and I think it was 4th and like a long 1. Last year, we all know they're sneaking that. They're pushing Jalen Hurts' ass up over Kelsey's back, and he's getting 3 yards out of it. I don't think they snuck him once. It was 4th and 1, 4th and a long 1. They were in the shotgun, so they paid him. Now they don't want to use him the way they did last year. So we're gonna have to see how effective that is with him in the pocket.
Yeah, and like I honestly thought this was a poorly coached game on both sides of the ball. I mean, both teams making questionable decisions. Like you were saying, they weren't running with Hurts, but all game they were consistently getting 3 yards on the plunge with Kenneth Gainwell. They should have stuck to that to run the clock out. They've run with Jalen Hurts and gun empty when they're icing the game. Forced fumble, great play by Jabril. But then the very next drive, 4th and 2, a Patriots offense that's been stalling out a lot. Why are you not punting that ball, going for it on 4th and 2 for the kill shot, coming up empty again? AJ Brown, the only one on that side of the ball playing well. I just thought Sirianni didn't make the best decisions. But then Belichick and the offensive play calling on the other side, I mean, we had chances to run the ball, take yardage, take threes, and we couldn't get them. Penalties hurting us large on that 2-point conversion, Huff. Your plus 4.5 would have covered. That was crazy. A terrible holding penalty on a Mac Jones walk-in would have been 22-25 and a field goal game. But you could tell it wasn't boding well early. Even before those turnovers, first third down of the game, we had them 3rd and long, and there was a fumbled snap or something like that, and there was a penalty for lining up offsides on the Patriots. It got off to a rough start.
That 2-point conversion, Ace, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? This is how my season's gonna start, a 2-point conversion that gets called back.
Yep. After you see Mac Jones running in, you're like, let's fucking go.
I'm like, again, no offense, we both don't root for the best teams here. I'm like, I need Mac Jones to go down and do something against the defending NFC Championship Eagles. I just need fucking points. And the whole second half, he did it. At the end of the first half, he did it. I'm like, I was like, dude, the Patriots are going to cover this game. I swore that they were going to cover that game. I did not think they were going to win. I swore they were going to lose by 3. And when it came down to that 2-point conversion, I was like, there it is.
And it's so crazy. They had so many chances at the end. How many times did you get to see Mac Jones come up? And that's why Keyshawn Boutte.
Who's the receiver that thought he was still in college football?
Keyshawn Boutte. That's why he went undrafted. Great talent. You can see it all over the field. Yeah, he didn't play for 2 years. Remember, he's a 5-star coming out, and he's logging big snaps with Devontae Parker out in a good camp. And he's making the play. He's just not getting 2 down.
Got to get the feet down. Both of them.
It happened twice. Terrible.
I just remember the big one at the end.
Oh, my God.
But also, like, dude, go to Hunter Henry, Gesicki.
Oh,
like,
you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching. What about at the end of the game? They had 2nd and 5, getting knocked out of field goal range and easy first downs. I would just keep moving the chains. You're getting 5 yards of pop. Let it rock. Like, let it ride.
That's like, I was screaming at my TV for Pickett to just throw it to Freiermuth, but then I'm like, okay, there's a good reason that they're not. They had Fred Warner literally just shadowing everything Freiermuth did. I'm like, okay, he's useless now. So, like, take him off the fucking option list. But, like, I'm watching the Patriots game. Hunter Henry was wide open up the middle almost every play.
That one-handed
Mac
snag.
Jones just doesn't want to look at him.
That was ridiculous.
On 4th and long.
But also a terrible throw by Mac Jones.
Oh my God! But we'll take it, Hunter Henry. But no, I think that's a weakness of the Eagles team that I was hoping they would exploit more, and they started doing it in the second half. But if you're looking where they have a weakness, it's their linebacking position. They lost what's his name, TJ Edwards in free agency, and they haven't been able to replace him. And if you have any tight ends, you can take it to the middle of the field against the Eagles.
It's only right. I had to get my boy Hunter Henry in that crazy bet that I hit. I was looking for the next touchdown on the Patriots game. I'm like, old reliable, bang.
Yeah, shout out Huff for that hit. That was crazy. What was it? 5 to win 2.
Yeah, it was crazy. Plus like 30. It was basically like plus 40,000 odds.
That's nuts. Way to be
unreal. Alrighty, Mackie, and over to you. The Cowboys just taking care of the New York Giants. We talked about it in the live stream, that primetime game on Sunday night, 40-0 for them Cowboys. What do you got?
Money team. Ace hit it on the card. I did not, so I can't really gas them up too much.
I did too.
Oh, Jesse, Oh yeah, you did. You're right.
Mac, me and you both stayed away because we didn't.
I was 1-5 on the week. I didn't want to tail my dogs and then fucking get beat again. But absolute shit show by the Giants. But that Cowboys defense is legit. And after week 1, they're the best defense in the league. I don't care about the Niners. I don't care about the Jets. That defense is stellar. And more the pass rush than anything. And they had 5 turnovers in that game. It's just absolutely incredible. The problem is I didn't really get to see Dak. I didn't really get to see the offense very much. Any first down he needed, he pretty much got. But the offense wasn't moving too quick because it was 14-0 before I could even manage what was going on with the turnovers on defense. So that defense is definitely something to be reckoned with. It's going to carry us all season, but that offense still has a lot of question marks. Didn't really get to see him a lot. Dak looked good, though.
I was salty because the defense got the first touchdown, and then when they were driving down the field, he looks right to fucking Ferguson on the goal line, just like he always does with his tight ends. I had him first touchdown plus 2,000. He hits him with the one hand. I'm like, who do you think that is? Fucking Odell Beckham Jr. He's not catching that. Throw it to his chest, Dak.
What's crazy is, dude, that first drive of the game, Giants just went down and did what they wanted to do. We
Yeah,
blocked.
that block changed
We
everything.
blocked the kick, and it was like an absolute a switch that flipped in their heads or something. But they just were a step ahead the entire game. Micah Parsons, absolute dog. I think we had 7 sacks, which is ridiculous. 5 turnovers.
Dorrance Armstrong had 2. Parsons had 2.
Put up just crazy video game numbers. So this Cowboys team, I said in the beginning of the season, I said I never get my hopes up too much with them, but they just proved a lot in week 1. I'm gonna overreact. Fuck it.
And you know what's crazy is I was the only one who picked them to win this division. I think they can get it done. I think they looked like one of the strongest teams. I still like my Niners in the NFC, but I think this team is very complete at every position. Granted, that's a light matchup. I've been talking shit about these Giants for almost the whole time I've been on this podcast, and their true colors showed there. They're not a good team. I don't think the New York Giants are anywhere near a good team, but against the Juggernaut, it's easy to say that. So I'm excited to see them play the Eagles. But they showed us everything we're looking for. Only thing I don't like is how Mike Parsons is out on his podcast saying they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, you ever heard of a jinx, buddy? Like, that's the one thing you don't say.
I don't like that he has a podcast. I don't like that he plays a game
and
then goes on the mic and talks about it. I don't like how he talks about Aaron Rodgers. I don't like how he talks about all this shit.
He talked about
You're a
Jones.
football player. You do this at the end of your career or after your career. You don't do it 2 or 3 years into your career.
You don't like
I
the
just don't like
Kelseys?
it at all. They're cool. I obviously like them because I don't know, it's different with them. But they're also towards the end of their career. They both proved themselves.
No, Michael Parsons is a dog, though.
Yeah, but it's the type of thing that comes back and bites you in the ass because you're talking all over the mic, and then
he hasn't lived
people
up
have
to
it
the
out
hype
for
yet.
you.
He hasn't won yet.
Well, he's lived up to the hype. Don't get me wrong, but people have it out for you when you're on the mic every week. That's why
I like Mike on the mic. He's pretty good. I
just don't like the whole concept of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're an athlete right
humble.
now. Be an athlete. Yeah.
Yeah, but he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. If there's ever a guy to have a loud mouth and back it up with his play on the field week in and week out, I mean, why not do it in Dallas? Michael Parsons, dog, going for that decoy this year.
Did you guys see Sandy Alcantara is a torn UCL too? Yeah, or they're just saying that because
he has been good as of late, though. Well, they're done. Actually, they're kind of in a race.
They're gonna need him now. I know, but I'm saying like he's sliding up in the fucking rotation now.
It's time. Week 2. We're here. We're ready. Let's do it. Our power rankings for this week are as followed. Number 5, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins, helping me cash that over in week 1. Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. 2, the Dallas Cowboys. And coming in at number 1, the San Francisco 49ers, taking down the Steelers there in week 1. That's our power rankings for this week. Any thoughts before we move into week 2?
No, that's a solid list. I like to see the Dolphins up there. They're a great team right now. Not much else to say for me. The top 3 is pretty not up for argument, in my opinion. And the Chiefs, they lose, but they were number 1 going in, so they slide to number 5. Not much else to say about it.
Yeah, you still got to respect the Chiefs, but, coming off a loss.
Yeah, I like these rankings a lot, but you got to keep the Chiefs in there, especially without Travis Kelce. I hate making excuses. Tom Brady never got him, so Mahomes shouldn't either. But yeah, I mean, they can't fall out of the power rankings after a week 1 loss. Like, come on.
I'm taking the over in this Red Sox Yankees.
All right, alrighty, boys. Week 2, we're here. Let's jump into it. Thursday night football, 8 p.m. Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are the favorite here, 6.5 points in their favor. Their money line minus 270. Vikings money line plus 220 in the total at 49.5. Vikings not winning last week. Eagles did win last week. Trends I got here. Vikings 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games at Philadelphia. The over is 19-8 in Minnesota's last 27, as well as 8-2 in the past 10 Vikings games as road dogs. Again, the over 8-2 past 10 Vikings games as road dogs. Eagles 7-1 straight up, 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games played on a Thursday. Mackie, get us started here. Thursday night football, week 2.
Yeah, kind of a nightmare situation for the Vikings coming off a really tough loss to a pretty weak Bucks team on their home turf, having to go to Philadelphia on a short week, play at the Link on a Thursday night. Um, yeah, not a team that I can really put my money on, but the line is moving in their favor. It started at 7.5. I'm seeing 6.5 right now. Um, but yeah, if anything, I lean more on the under. But this is just a really bad situation for Kirk Cousins and those Vikings. They didn't look too good. That defense doesn't look good. See what they can do on Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm locked in on this first half under. I let it slip away from me in that Giants game and the Monday night game. I'm gonna. Wait, no, the Monday night was the. I'm blanking.
Bills,
Who played Monday?
Bills,
Bills.
Bills,
Yeah, that
Jets.
was the one that soared under. That was the one that I liked it and I didn't fucking take it. So
I played it.
I'm going with it here with the first half under with the Vikings and the Eagles. I don't really have too much of a play as far as the side. I do think I'm going with I might sprinkle. I like Jefferson to score the first touchdown.
I do like Jefferson here, Huff. And if you remember last year, he was kind of shut down by big play Slay, so he has to have a revenge tour as the best receiver in the league. Expect him to eat this week, just like he did last week. But for the game, 7's a big spread, and I think these Vikings got to have a bit of some grit coming back after a tough loss to the Bucks. I do like the Eagles here. I think they were kind of shut down in New England, and they didn't have to do much, but they still walked out with a win. So they're 1-0 going home, feeling good about themselves in the prime time. I think that Jalen Hurts and co get going. I like Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown this week. He didn't get in last week. You know he's going to. So you might see that on my card. Also like the Jefferson receiving yards, but I do like lean the Eagles 7, but don't know if I want to play that. I think it'll be a good game though, nonetheless. Two solid teams, playoff teams from the NFC last year.
I agree with you there, Ace. Going to be a great Thursday night football matchup. Tough to say what I'm going to take, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's jump into Sunday here. 1 o'clock, the Packers and the Falcons ready to get us started in Atlanta. Packers are the favorite here. 1.5 points. Their money line minus 112. Falcons money line minus 104 in the total at 40.5. Both these teams getting a win last week. I don't have any trends on this game, actually. Who wants to get us started?
I'll get us started here. I'm big on this Packers team. I definitely underestimated them coming into this year, Ace. I know you had them over on the win total, and you said that they could be competing in this division. I definitely think that they could be competing, especially after the way they looked in Week 1. I'm very big on Jordan Love. I'm obviously big on the running backs that they have there. They did all that without Christian Watson. That was with Romeo Doubs at the number 1. I think all things are going up for the Packers. Their defense looked really good against us. I mean, the Bears didn't look very good, so take that for what you will. But I think I like the Packers to come into Atlanta and get a big win here.
Yeah, I like Jordan Love too. I underestimated him coming into the season. A pretty good game. He threw for 250, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But again, he played the Bears, and I fell into that trap. I thought Justin Fields was going to have a little bit of a better game. He won Week 1 last year against the Niners at home, but he just absolutely terrible. That Bears team is not good. Offense is not good. Defense is not good. So Jordan Love had a pretty easy Week 1. You're going on the road here. You're going into Atlanta. Atlanta also not a stellar team, but coming off a nice win in a divisional matchup. I lean Falcons here. I do. 2 young quarterbacks. Give me the home team, the more well-rounded team in my opinion. I think it was more of a fluke win for the Packers. I don't think they're really going to have that good of a season. I don't really think they're going to be in the running for that NFC North. But Jordan Love
You think
is
Falcons are the better, more well-rounded team?
with Bijan, and yeah, definitely. What do the Packers have?
Dude,
Packers
Aaron
were
Jones,
9-8
AJ
last year
Dillon,
with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
Christian Watson, Ace, you're muted. Romeo Doubs.
Christian Watson is on his rookie or second year.
Let me jump in here on this game real quick. Well-rounded teams. I'm gonna side with Huff on the Packers here. But
You're not going
first
to
off,
say either team is very well rounded at all.
yeah, no. But first off, this game
If
could go.
Rodgers is still in Green Bay with an Achilles on his leg, they're a playoff team in my opinion.
They're not. They went 9-8 last year with Rodgers.
They're a way
I
better
know.
team than that. They were
Same-
They're a
injured.
way better team. Yeah, they're a way
No,
better team.
come
They were very
Get
injured. No,
outta
they were.
here.
So let me get my point on this game. This game could go either way. Both of these teams trying to figure out their identity this season and hoping to be in the race after surprising Week 1 win against weak teams. But I'm gonna lean towards the Packers here, just for this reason. This football, we see it now. We've talked about it last year. We haven't talked about much this year. The game is still won in the trenches on both sides of the ball. The Packers line up very well, led by David Bakhtiari. They have a good O-line out there in Green Bay. They also have a great D-line. And then when Rashawn Gary's healthy, one of the best players in the league. They have Jair Alexander healthy. There's a lot of other names on that defense that can turn up. And then on the other side of the ball, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon could be the best duo in the league at running back. Aaron Jones is electric. I know he's always on the trainer's table at some point in the game, but when he's on the field, he's dynamite. And when he's not, A.J. Dillon's a bruiser. He gets the job done. Christian Watson didn't even play last game, and they looked good. And this Green Bay team, they're a quarterback factory with Jordan Love on that side of the ball. I think he's going to turn into a good player in this league. But I'm not gassing them too much. I think they'll be like kind of like the Patriots and Steelers of the NFC. I think they're going to be right in that wild card hunt. But I do really like this Atlanta team. They have good pieces, not so much in the trenches like we normally talk about it, even though there's a few names on each side. Grady Jarrett, I believe, and then they have a nice alignment as well. But Jesse Bates, what do you have? 2 interceptions? That guy's a great addition to that defense. He looked lights out. Terrell was good. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we saw Bijan and Aljair. I'm just scared that they can't expand past that run game. If they play someone like the Tampa Bay Bucks, they might lose that game just like the Vikings did because they're so one-dimensional. I like the Packers this week, though. I like them to go on the road and get to 2-0 and compete for that NFC.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be there at the end of the year. Like you said, it might be a fringe wild card team, but
the
you're
weak
putting a lot
division,
of
that
faith.
could be one of the weakest divisions in the NFL, the NFC North. It's the third weakest. Obviously, the Souths of both sides, everybody's going to jump out to, but when you get past those garbage cans, you look, it's the NFC North. That's the next.
Going to be an interesting 1:00 matchup there. I think Panthers and Falcons, just two teams I don't love anything on this game so far, but we'll see what we get to on Sunday. The next game on Sunday, the Bears and the Bucks in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay getting a win last week, the Bears not. So the Bucks are the favorite here, minus 2.5 points. Their money line minus 152. Bears money line plus 128, and the total at 40.5. Only trend I got here, the total has gone over in 9 out of Chicago's last 12 games. That's sitting at 40.5. Ace, why don't you get us started here on this 1:00 matchup?
Yeah, I mean, this Bucks team, I kind of gassed up that defense, that Super Bowl caliber defense all summer long, and I kind of got shit on for it. But they're still right there, and they showed that last week. They're one of they're maybe the most stout run defense in the NFL. I know the secondary is not too hot. Losing Jordan Whitehead doesn't help, but that run defense with Devin White, who's a Vita Vey, Levante David, and Shaq Barrett. There's a lot of other good guys on that defense too, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin still doing their thing. Mike Evans more so. With Baker Mayfield getting all fired up. I don't think they're a playoff contender at all, but I think they could hit that win total over this year. And I think they might be able to take this one this week. The Bears team so underwhelming, couldn't move the ball at all. Literally at all. It was embarrassing to watch. All those garbage time stats made Justin Fields' day look not so bad. But high expectations. I don't know, though. An overachieving Tampa Bay Bucks team coming off of a win, they might be riding too high, and they're really not that good. So the Bears could go in there and steal one. You won't see this on my card, but I'm going to lean Bucks for this one, but it's going to be a lot tighter than you think. Reminiscent of that Bears-Niners game last year. I think that's how they would have to steal it.
I'm kind of on the same page as you. I do lean on Tampa Bay here, but for me to think they start out 2-0 just doesn't sound right for the opinion that I had coming in the season for them. But like you said, the Bears aren't giving me any reason to take them here. In my opinion, I want to say they got the line right because, in my opinion, these are kind of two equal teams right now. You give the home team the field goal. It's just if you would have told me we would have seen the Bucks in week 2 as a minus 150 favorite. I mean, I think we all. I don't know. I obviously it's tough to say, but I don't know. I lean Bucks here, but I'm definitely not gonna lock anything in here on this one. I don't think.
Yeah, also a game I'll probably be staying away from. Probably the worst game of the week. There's a few really bad games this week, but this is definitely up there for one of the worst. Bears already on my no bet list. I don't care if it's one weekend. That was atrocious. Can't believe I actually threw money on that, but I lean Bucks in this pretty shitty 1:00 game.
I don't think anybody's going to have this one on the card, but I think it's going to be a one-score game, and I think that's got to sway to the veteran Bucks' favor at home.
Another matchup, going to be an interesting one coming into Sunday there, 1:00. Another one I don't know to take anything on, but yeah, probably won't be on my card. Let's keep moving. Seahawks and Lions in Detroit. Detroit's the favorite here, minus 5.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 220, and Seahawks money line at plus 184. Total sitting at an even 47. The Lions striking at those Chiefs last week, getting a win. Seahawks getting a loss. Huff, why don't you get us rolling here on this matchup.
Yeah, I'm all over the Lions here. I really like them in this spot. I'm not sold on anything that Seattle's cooking up right now. That loss that they had last weekend to an LA Rams team that I kind of said could be pesky this year. So, not saying I didn't see that coming. It's a divisional game. I know they kind of looked very bad, but they started out the game pretty good. Gino got pressured early by Aaron Donald. We saw that meme of him screaming, "Oh my God," whenever he saw him coming down the middle. But I don't know. I'm not too big on these Seahawks this year. I think this line is right in a really good spot for the Lions. I like to get them by the 6 points to win or more. I'm going to take the Lions minus 5.5.
Such a tough game for me. I keep swaying both sides, and I like that money line or the +6 with the Seahawks. That's what I've been seeing it at. I think they have to bounce back after a tough game against the Rams. I don't think they're a good team. I don't think they're going to go back to the playoffs. But I think that Lions team is going to be riding high after that Chiefs game. That's what they're preparing for all summer. And I think this one's going to be tight, and Geno Smith and co. could get the job done in Detroit. I expect a high-scoring affair. I think these two teams matched up last year, if I'm not wrong. If not, they there's similar games for the Lions last year. I could see an over in this one for sure. I think it's going to be high flying for two mid-grade quarterbacks.
Ace, I'm pretty much seeing this game the same way you are. I'm actually kind of leaning Seahawks on this one. I think Pete Carroll makes a lot of adjustments in this Week 2 game. That team came out last year with no expectations, and they came off a nice Week 1 win and kind of rode that momentum the entire year. It's a different team this year, different expectations. Come off a nice or a pretty tough Week 1 loss, and you gotta bounce back here on the road. Lions the entire offseason were just focused on one game, one player, Pat Mahomes, and they got the job done. They did what they needed to do, but they never even thought to look past that week to look at the Seahawks. So I'm going to take Pete Carroll here and take the Seahawks +6, but I think it's going to be a really good game. I think the Lions are, like you said, Ace, Lions are riding high right now, coming off beating the Chiefs Week 1 on Thursday Night Football. So give me the Seahawks here.
How much
+6.
belief does I like that take, Mac? I agree completely. How much faith do you have in this Lions team if they can beat the Seahawks here? Does that build the hype for you at all?
If it's a 7-point game, I mean, the line makers got it pretty much right. But if they win by 14, 15 points, I'm going to say this team's definitely one to be reckoned with. They can finish at least 12 wins this year in that weak division. So we'll have to see how this week goes. You can't overreact after Week 1. Nice Week 1 win. No Kelsey late, so that brings in a big factor in that game. But if they can blow out a Seahawks team who really isn't bad this week, back-to-back weeks, two big wins, they're definitely one that I would be worried about.
Yeah, you know what? That Lions team though, I'm so excited to watch when Jameer Gibbs can break out and they can give him a full workload because everybody's waiting for that in the Chiefs game. When he touched the ball, he looked great. I know Demont's going to play in that Jamal Williams role and get into the end zone and whatnot, but I want to see Jameer Gibbs with the ball. He looks like a good player, very flashy. So it's an exciting team to watch. Like I said all year, I'm not high on the Lions, but I think they're going to be must see TV all year.
Yeah, you gotta feed Jameer Gibbs.
6 points is a lot for Pete Carroll, though. I like that a lot. It's a very interesting line to me. It definitely popped out at me. I was like, could be a card
Moving,
consideration.
it's moving down too. It started at 6.5. I'm seeing 5.5 now. Gotta be careful with that game.
Alrighty, guys, let's keep moving here. Another 1 o'clock matchup in Buffalo. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Buffalo Bills. Bills are the favorite here, 9.5 points. Their money line sitting at -450. Raiders money line +350. Total sitting at 47. Yet again here, Raiders with a win last week. Bills with a loss. Trends I got here. The total has gone over in 5 out of Vegas's last 5 games against Buffalo. And Buffalo is 12-2 straight up in their last 14 games at home. Question is, do you like the Bills with the spread here? Mackie, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, I cannot bet on a Bills team like that played that bad on Monday night in a 9.5-point spread against a team that had a nice game last week. Jimmy Garoppolo and that team looked really nice. And with the guy who turned the ball over 4 times last week, you're gonna have Max Crosby breathing down your neck every single snap. He's gonna want to get rid of that ball. He's gonna make some bad decisions, or he's just gonna take a few sacks, which he's not a very prone quarterback to taking sacks because of how big he is. But the media's on him right now, and he knows it. And he knows how much he turns the ball over. He's gonna be very weary of that, and I think he can have a pretty tough week with Max Crosby breathing down his neck. he's going to get to him every single time. And when he doesn't get to him, he's going to make sure he goes out of his way to get in his ear. So I definitely lean Raiders plus 9.5. I like Jimmy Garoppolo's game. Very confident. Him and Devontae Adams have a nice connection over there. You could see as they were driving downfield, he had one red zone interception that was a tip ball, but they probably should have won by more than 1 point against the Broncos last week. So I kind of like this Raiders team. I like them plus 9.5. Might not be in the card, but just because going into Buffalo is pretty tough. But I do really like that line for the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying a lot of good things about the Raiders that I agree with, but I gotta think this is a get right game for Josh Allen. Weak defense here. He's got to get back to form. I'm not gonna touch this game at all. Weird spread. I definitely think the Bills win this week, but I think Josh Allen has a good day. I think I could see him putting up 2 or 3 touchdowns, maybe running one in himself as well. Definitely 300 plus against this weak Raiders defense, and I could see both teams at 1-1 at the end of this week. But I don't think I'm touching either side with the spread.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wish this was like a 6.5, but obviously it's 9.5 for a reason because I like the Bills, but I'm not gonna take a 9.5 point spread. I said it last week. I don't not be not normally all over those. Yeah, I'm not gonna jump at this one either. But I do lean on the Bills here. I like the Bills. This is a definition of a get right game if you're Josh Allen and the Bills.
You guys said it. Yeah, definitely a get right game for sure. 9.5 points is a lot. Not sure what I think about that one. Next game here, Chargers and Titans in Tennessee. Chargers are the favorite here, -3. Their money line sitting at -154. Titans money line plus 130, and the total sitting at 45. No, but losses for both teams here in week 1. Let's see what trends I got. The Chargers 12-2 straight up in its last 14 games against Tennessee, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games on the road. And the total's gone under in 11 of Tennessee's last 13 games at home. Ace, why don't you get us started on this one? Titans and Chargers in Nashville.
This is my play of the week, I think. Chargers -3. I think they're going to smoke them. They're going to put up way too many points. They're going to bounce back after a tough loss last week where their team played well. I like all the weapons they got. Going to see Austin Eckler get in the end zone again. I just think that this Chargers team is actually a very good team. Upper echelon of wild card contenders. Maybe they could push the Chiefs for the division, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving -3 going down to Tennessee.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of giving me the same vibes that Saints -3 did last week against this same Titans team. And if Mike Vrabel's down 4 points, he will kick a field goal because he doesn't care about winning the game. I guess he just cares about covering a fucking spread.
He knew what the spread was.
Yeah, believe me, that was the worst, the most annoying beat I had in week 1. That Saints -3. I'm getting the same vibes from this one, but yeah, give me the Chargers -3 for all the reasons you said. I think the Chargers bounce back big here.
Yeah, feed me Titans +3 and the money line. Trap game of the week, in my opinion. I think the public is going to be all over the Chargers. And like we said, Brandon Staley running that Chargers defense going to be terrible. We saw it last week. Tua picked them apart. And guess what? Justin Herbert still cannot win a big game. This is definitely one that he can win. Don't get me wrong. Probably should win it. But, everything I've said about this guy has been true. And everyone wants to shit on me for it. But it's the way it goes. It's the way it always has gone. And until he proves me wrong, he's not going to go into anywhere. And I'm not going to take him against the Titans or -3 on the road after he can't win it. He can't win a big game. He can't do it. The numbers are all there. He puts up the numbers. He makes it look good, like it's not his fault. But again, year in, year out, he loses football games. So feed me Derrick Henry against that defense, the weak defense that's supposed to be so good, got picked apart last week. Derrick Henry's going to run all over him, 200 plus yards. Give me Titans +3 and on the money line.
They just duked it out with one of the best teams that we pegged to win the AFC East this year. I mean, I don't know how you're acting like that. Tua is a bad quarterback. He's like a dark horse MVP.
I didn't say that.
Getting picked apart by Tua.
They got picked apart.
But that's the best receiving core in the NFL.
Doesn't matter. You go up 38 points. You're not one of the best defenses in the league in week 1.
No, I don't think they're the best at all. But I'm just saying, like that's a tough draw.
They're looked at as a top 7 defense, I'd say, and that's definitely nothing that I saw in that game.
I'd say they're like 10 to 12.
I don't know. It's close,
I
but
you know what?
uh,
You're very right with your take though about the big games for Justin Herbert, but I just don't see this as a big game. I see this as a game
it's not.
where the
I
Chargers
I over
roll. I could see them win
I
34
over
to 13.
exaggerated.
Like
I
if
over exaggerated. Not a big game at all. Definitely one that he can go in and win. But I can't bet on this Chargers team. This Titans team kind of surprised me as well. They're more well rounded than I thought they were, and that Saints team is also pretty good. But they stay in games. They stay close in games, and this is definitely one where the public's going to be all over on the Chargers. So uh, for that reason, I also lean the Titans. But
you're gonna
I
take it
like. I,
though,
no, I didn't say. Yeah. I don't know.
you said
It's too
plus
early
three
to
and
tell.
money line.
Yeah. Well, if I'm gonna take the plus 3, I'm gonna take the money line. But I'm definitely leaning to put this on my card. It's not a lock on my card yet.
That's
But
crazy. I feel like they should be
I
getting
like
six and a
the Titans.
half.
Yeah, you think so, right? So does everyone else.
I know, and it does scream trap game. That's a good point. But like you you say it yourself, big games, but like look at Justin Herbert's career. What is he going? He's always got double digit wins, right? Like he rolls in a lot of games, and this is one of those games where I think he just has like a Justin Herbert day. Like he's still a great quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. Brandon Staley, just come on,
I
man.
love
So
this -3. This is like my favorite play of the week, maybe. I think Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, like they're gonna have
Austin
a big
Eckler might
day.
be out.
Oh, really?
I think
But still,
the
Josh Kelly went off last week.
Yeah,
if
but
Eckler's out, I don't like this game as much. I that might make me switch here because I think this could be a big Derrick Henry day as well.
I think there's a good chance he is out too.
I just don't think they can contain that Justin Herbert offense. I mean, they scored 35 points last week. Did you watch the Titans game? It was a struggle to put numbers on the board against the Saints
Yeah, but
defense.
the defense looked pretty good.
Saints defense is good.
Yeah, but how much better is the Chargers offense than the Saints offense? Millions
Yeah,
times.
no, okay. Don't get ahead of yourself there. It's not millions times.
The,
But
the Saints looked
it's
really bad. The Chargers are scoring at will.
It's a new quarterback and a new team. I give
it's a
them.
new
They still
system
picked
for
up a
them.
No,
win.
yeah, no,
They
no. I'm
literally.
not trying to bash the Saints, but I just think the Chargers are that good on offense. I think they're like a top.
No, I see what you
pick
mean.
I'm just so sick of hearing how good this Chargers team is, and they just constantly lose games.
But that's
Like,
a good
it's just,
matchup. We're super high on the Dolphins. Like they're good. I don't think the Chargers
okay.
are
What
Super
about
Bowl.
what,
I don't think they're Super Bowl
what about
contenders.
last year?
I think the Chargers are just above the Patriots and Steelers in the AFC. That's where I put them. Like they're
They just have a way better quarterback than both.
And I think I like the Patriots and Steelers when they play them too. Like I'd probably take them. I think they beat them. But like where you put them every year in that ranking, like the Chargers are a type of team that beat the shit out of bad teams. But maybe the Titans aren't a bad team because Mike Vrabel doesn't coach bad teams.
I don't think the Titans are as bad as we really thought they were. I think they're a little more well-rounded. Ryan Tannehill's still in
He's
there.
not
He
bad.
wins football games.
It's the same
Wins
team.
football
Becky, we were
games.
talking about that
It's
when we
always
bet
the
the
same
Saints.
team.
I was like, I was
got
kind of
D-Hop
under the
over there too.
I was kind of under the impression that it was Malik Willis, and it's Ryan Tannehill, and you add D-Hop. I wasn't big on that signing. I'm still not.
The offensive line is belittled a little. That's the only
Yeah,
difference.
it
And
has. No,
Derrick
it
Henry
has.
is not affected by that.
I just don't believe in that defense at all for the
He didn't
Titans.
get in last week, Mackie.
Yeah, he still put up the yards, didn't he?
I think he only had I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't want to quote myself.
That Saints defense is a lot better than that Chargers defense, though, too.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I could definitely be 100% wrong on this, but
Yeah, I might just totally stay away from this game. This does seem like a weird fucking line.
I bet you see at least 80% of the Chargers.
Definitely got to keep an eye on that money there. If there's a lot of money on those Chargers, I'm not touching them. But going to be an interesting matchup. Let's keep it going. Colts and Texans in Houston. The Colts are the favorite here, just -1. Their money line -126. Texans money line at +106, and the total at 40 even. Kind of low there for the week here. Both these teams getting a loss last week. The only trend I got here, the total has gone under in 6 out of the Colts' last 7 games when playing the Texans. So going to be a low game as the total already suggests. Mackie, why don't you get us rolling here? What do you think?
Yeah, 2 rookie quarterbacks going up against each other. You're going to see one of them get their first win here, which is pretty cool. I like both these quarterbacks. I'm definitely higher on Anthony Richardson. I think the Colts are also a better team. They put up a fight last week against one of the best teams in the league, the Jaguars. Jaguars late game touchdown put them over the spread. They won by 10, but Anthony Richardson was knocking on the door final 2 minutes on the 10-yard line. Couldn't get into the end zone to cover that spread. I missed out on that one, but this Colts team was in that game against one of the best teams in the AFC, in the league. in a divisional matchup, and they're in another divisional matchup this week. So I do lean Colts in this one. Not crazy. I do kind of like C.J. Stroud. I think the Texans didn't really do well last week, but they put up a good enough fight against the Ravens. They had no real expectations going into that game. But I'm not going to take a play here, but I do lean the Colts and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, Mackie, I agree with you exactly. The first thing I think of when you see this game is people probably think it's gross, but this is a good game to watch. I think this screams like good game on Sunday. Like you'll probably throw in a parlay of some sort. I'm sure you guys touch like every game or a long shot or something. So I know that I'll have the Colts and something like that. But on a card, I don't think I'm gonna play anything big on them at all. Not super high on them. But I think they do get the job done. I think Anthony Richardson has a good game, but I think Stroud does too. I think it'd be a high-scoring game maybe. I could see like 24-21 and a last possession kind of wins type thing. But I think the Colts get the job done. Anthony Richardson showed me enough to encourage me to buy in for this week.
Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on this game. Like Ace said, I think this could be kind of back and forth. I definitely could see the Texans steal this game. So I'm going to stay away from this one, especially we saw Anthony Richardson look like he got a little banged up at the end of last week. So if they keep using him like that, we'll have to see how durable he is out there. But yeah, I'm definitely not sold on going Colts this week. So stay tuned. I don't know. I might throw something on this card, but yeah, I definitely lean on the Colts here, but don't hate the Texans.
Good stuff, boys. Let's jump into one of the matchups we'll be talking about on our Sunday live stream, live at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. The Ravens and the Bengals. Bengals at home and favorited -3. Their money line at -166. Ravens money line +140. The total at 46.5. The trends I got here: Ravens 19-4-1 against the spread in their last 24 games as the underdog. The under is 12-2 in Cincinnati's last 14 games played in September, and the under is 15-6 in Baltimore's last 21 games. So, Bengals not winning last week, Ravens getting the dub. Who wants to get us rolling on this one without no big loss to get us rolling on this one? Who wants to get us rolling?
Yeah, I mean, I can get us going on this one. This is definitely one of the games of the week. One of the ones you're going to want to watch. How is Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense gonna bounce back after a 24-3 loss to the Browns? Two divisional games in a row. Going on the road, losing to the Browns 24-3. I think Joe Burrow had 81 passing yards. Absolutely nothing going. Didn't even look like he wanted to play football. But you got to wonder how they're going to bounce back. I do like them to bounce back this week. You're at home in another divisional game. You cannot start in the division 0-2, especially this division. And I think Joe Burrow is still top 2 quarterback in the league, and he has all the weapons. You have Lamar Jackson on the other side, who also didn't have one of the best weeks last week. Got the job done against a pretty weak team, but these divisional games, you got to win the home games. And I don't really love the 3.5 points, especially with the hook, but I think the Bengals get the job done at least.
Yeah, Mackie, this is going to be a good one, like you said. I don't know how Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to get bounced back. He really showed a lot of rust of not playing in the preseason and coming off that injury. Getting shut out, or not shut out, but shut down by that Browns team last week. I'm not too high on those Browns. Great pick by you, but I didn't see that coming. But now it makes me kind of worried against the Ravens. And I know they didn't play very well last week against the Texans. Still won in a careless game, but their defense is pretty tough. That Roquan Smith guy, number 0 on the other side of the ball. Players finally wearing 0. He looks pretty good out there. He could be one of the best linebackers in the league. Lamar Jackson, I expect him to play better than he did last week. Interested to see how they handle the reps at running back. I know they have Melvin Gordon on the roster, but I'm leaning Ravens here. I think Joe Burrow is good. Another week to shake the rust off, but this will be a fun one to watch. I like the Ravens to win this one out.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at the spread. I think it's Bengals -3, -120 on FanDuel. So if I can get the -3, I like the Bengals here. Definitely lean on, like Mackie said, I like a bounce back game from Burrow. I think they get right at home. It's a 1 o'clock game, divisional game. Yeah, I definitely lean Bengals. I also like the game to go under. So the 46.5, I like the under, and I like the Bengals -3.
I like the under as well.
And now a message from one of our partners.
Hey, Matt. Hey, how's it going, fella?
Pretty good. Have you
Great.
heard of the Black Lincoln Collective podcast?
I have not. Could you tell me more about them? They sound great and hilarious.
Yes. It's about 3 guys that just shoot the crap and just hang out.
Oh, that
should
sounds
listen
like
to
what
them.
I'd like to do in my spare time. Just hanging out with 3 dudes I've never met before.
That's right. And they make noises all the time.
Where can I hear these geniuses of men with huge penises?
I don't know. I think we've gone over 30 seconds.
Doesn't matter. Just say the fucking website.
Alrighty, boys, let's jump into our last 1 o'clock matchup here. Another one we're going to talk about on our live stream. The Chiefs and the Jaguars in Jacksonville. The Chiefs are the favorite, -3.5. Their money line, -180. The Jags money line, +152. And the total at 51.5. The Jags getting the win last week, but the Chiefs falling short to those Lions. The trends I got here. Jags have lost 7 in a row straight up versus Kansas City. Their last win was November 8th, 2009. So many, many years ago. Over 15-6 in Kansas City's last 21 games on the road. And the Chiefs are 19-5 straight up in their past 24 conference games, but are 3-12 against the spread in their last 15 versus the AFC. What do we see happening here? Our final 1 o'clock matchup.
All right, yeah, that's fine. I can start us out here. So obviously, I think Kelsey's playing in this game. Chiefs everyone's looking for a bounce back game from the Chiefs. The Jaguars' offense, in my opinion, looked pretty good last week. I know that was a Colts team that a lot of people were overlooking. They have a really good defense. I like the Jaguars here in this spot. Give me the 3.5 points, though. I'm going to take it so they can lose by the hook. We saw that good game that the Jaguars went into Kansas City last year. I think that Trevor Lawrence gets some revenge here. Could even win this game, but I'm going to take the 3 points with the Jaguars. This is my prime teaser opportunity of the week. I'm going to probably tease them, but I like the Jaguars +3.5 as far as a spread to give you a pick right now.
Yeah, I mean, Huff, I like that pick. I think it's going to be a great game. Whatever side covers the spread is going to have to do it late in the game. I think it's going to be a tight one throughout. I think if Kelsey plays, that's a big if. I think they can win this one. I know he looks like he's going to play, but I think they'll keep it safe with Travis Kelce still potentially another week. I hope he's in there though. I'm gonna lean towards those Chiefs though. The Super Bowl champions of last year. I think they get this one done. I like them on the money line here. But if you got a -3 by that half point, then it's not a bad one to grab. I don't think they start off 0-2, and Trevor Lawrence will find his wins in throughout the rest of the year. Expect him to have a good day though. I think he continues a case for a dark horse MVP alongside Tua.
The play I like almost just as much as the Jaguars is the over in this game. This is kind of like how I felt, or how
What's
Jesse
it
was
at
saying
again?
how he felt. 51.5 on FanDuel. I
like it a
think
lot.
I'm 51, so I think I'm going to be on that over as well.
Is Chris Jones ever gonna play football?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh,
Son.
oh yeah. Good point. Should have announced that as some big news. That is some big news. But yeah, I like the Chiefs to get this one done. Mackie, who are you leaning with? Jags, Chiefs? Are you with me or Huff?
I really don't. I don't really love a play on this one. I've got obviously the big question is 87 gonna suit up, but if he doesn't, I gotta lean Jags here because that offense just did not look anything like that normal offense usually does. Last week against the Lions, they were stagnant the entire time. They never really got a flow going. Pat Mahomes never looked comfortable. He didn't have a safety blanket, so a lot of question marks in that offense. And I like you guys just said, Chris Jones signed that big contract. You're gonna have him back on the defensive side of the field, but Trevor Lawrence looked really good last week against pretty good Colts defense, like you said it or Huff. So I don't love either side here. I lean the points for the home team, but you know Pat Mahomes starting 0-2 is like seeing a unicorn. I really don't think it's going to happen. So I'm not going to have a play here. Don't really lean on the over or under either, but just for the sake of it, I'll go Jags +3.5 by the extra half point.
Good stuff there to start off our 4 o'clock, or to finish off our 1 o'clock slate. Let's jump into our 4 o'clock slate, starting off with the San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. 49ers, the favorite here. They're giving them 8 points. The money line at -340. Rams money line +275. Total sitting at an even 45. Both these teams getting a win last week in week 1. Here are the trends I got. Rams, 19-4 straight up in their last 23 games played in September. 49ers, 12-0 straight up run as the favorite. 49ers, 10-2 against the spread in their past 12 games. Rams, 13-3 against the spread in their last 16 games against the 49ers, including in the 0-7 against the spread streak. Mackie, start us off. Battle of California here. 49ers and Rams.
Yeah, battle of the NFC West as well. Um, 2 plays here. I like the under, and I like the Rams plus 8 points. I think it's too many points for a team that just proved last week that they can get right back to where they were 2 years ago. Maybe not right back to where they were, but they're definitely still showing signs of it. Aaron Donald, we saw Geno Smith shit his pants when he was coming running at him. Matt Stafford, hell of a game, putting up 30 points. This Rams team is definitely good, and they're getting disrespected with an 8-point line. I know the Niners are one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league, but it's going to be more of a defensive game. You're going to see a lot of both sides. Defense is going to be showing up. I think 8 points is way too much in a divisional game for a home team who just had a 17-point win against another divisional team on the road. So I love the Rams plus 8 here. I think it's pretty disrespectful, but I like the under as well a lot. Another divisional game under where two defensive-minded teams. Brock Purdy's going to get his, I think. Not enough, though. Give me a close game. Rams plus 8.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just going to be a close game and 8 points. And I mean, that's as big as many points as you can get in one possession. So give me that all day. I like the Rams with the points. Another great tease opportunity. You can get them at like fucking 14.5. That's great if you ask me. I do also like the under. And when you get an under game and 8 points, yeah, I'll take that every day. I'm all over the Rams here. I did see a stat that was pretty cool. The Brock Purdy and Matt Stafford matchup this Sunday will be the first ever number 1 overall pick versus a Mr. Irrelevant quarterback in NFL history.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know Matt Stafford was number 1 overall. Go Dogs.
Yeah, the Lions tanked for him.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about this though. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a much better team than the Los Angeles Rams, and I know you're saying it's a lot of points, but like maybe I shouldn't overthink this one. I should just card Niners minus 8 this week just to ride with how good I think they are. I know it's a divisional game, and shout out to the Rams. I think they played great. I think they could finish higher. They could finish 2 or 3 in the division this year. Good coach out there, but I don't know. Why would I overthink this? I mean, they just decimated the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you know how much better the Steelers are than the Los Angeles Rams. I like them to
You
go
really
back.
think so?
Yeah, I really do.
I was gonna say, as a Steeler fan,
As a
like,
Steelers fan, I don't even think Huff thinks that.
Really?
I think this Rams team is like very similar to us, but in the NFC.
No,
They just have an old veteran quarterback. We have a young quarterback.
I don't like their running game. I don't like their wide receivers.
The
I
Steel-
don't like their defense.
I don't love the
as
Steelers running game.
The Steelers all around are probably definitely a better team. If you put Matthew Stafford
Yeah.
on that Steelers team, they're a way better team than the Rams, vice versa.
And
But
Aaron Donald. I want Aaron Donald too.
But they have Matthew Stafford and the Steelers have Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
so-
I'm just not going to overthink it though. I'm going to rock with the minus 8. You might see it on my card. Honestly, it's a lot of points. Maybe if I do a teaser, I could get one with the Seahawks and the Niners. That wouldn't be
I
a
think
bad
either
play.
way, yeah. I think either way you can tease this game and win.
Yeah, because if you can get points for that many, but like the thing is,
Between
I'm
2
nervous
and
betting.
14.
I'm nervous taking points against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not going to do that. I'm advising our listeners. I would. It's not a safe play. That's not a good team to do it against. I know it's a lot of points, but I don't know. I don't like this that much. I think this Niners team. I talked about them earlier. They're one of the best teams in the league. How are you going to stop them? How are they going to score? I mean, that O line for the Rams is not too. I don't know. I know it's divisional.
Neither is that defense. Neither is the rest of that defense behind Aaron Donald. So you need Aaron Donald to have a pretty big
With
game.
the best O line, one of the best O lines in football too. The Niners have you double team Aaron Donald. I don't really know how they're going to stop him. And Christian McCaffrey, like that guy when he's healthy, how good is he? Behind a great O line too, great offensive play caller. It's insane to watch. I think they put up a big number again. I don't think the Rams can keep pace. I like the Niners minus 8 here.
Alrighty, let's just go a little bit south there to Arizona. The Giants and the Cardinals, another 4:00 matchup here. Giants the favorite in Arizona, -6. Their money line -235. Cardinals +194. Total 39.5. Both these teams getting a loss last week. Trends I got: Giants 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games on the road. The total has gone under in 5 out of Arizona's last 6 games against the Giants. And the Cardinals are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against the Giants. Some interesting trends there favoring the under, and each team getting a little bit of action there. Curious to hear what you guys think this game in Arizona. Ace, why don't you get us rolling?
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine lose.
I hate the New York Giants, but I don't think they're going to lose to the Arizona Cardinals. You guys?
But imagine losing by 40 points, then going on the road and being 6-point favorites next week.
Yeah, but this is the worst team in the NFL. What's their win total at? It's like an all-time low, right?
I think it's 3.5.
I definitely could see the Cardinals cover the spread.
I could see the Cardinals winning outright after that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I
No,
really
I don't.
You think
would
that
never
you
take
think
it.
the Commanders are better than the Giants? No. The Commanders played god awful too. Did you watch that game? They were begging to lose that game, and the Cardinals couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I
two
definitely
really
won't
bad
take
teams.
this the snooze fest of the week.
Yeah, I think
This might
Saquon
be the
Barkley
worst
finds
game.
pay dirt though for sure. I think he
I'd
does. For
stay
sure.
away from this game. I would lean the points for the Cardinals, just because they're home and the Giants.
I'm not taking
literally
the
didn't even
Cardinals
put up
all
a
year
point
and
last
anything. Really not. I don't believe in that team at all. I don't like what they have at quarterback. Maybe when Kyler Murray comes back, but literally, I was watching that Commanders game. My brother had him in a knockout pool. We were watching the game, and I wanted the Cardinals to win so bad. So many chances to sell that game, and they just couldn't take it. They just kept giving it to Sam Howell and the Commanders. I like the Giants here. I'm not taking the points though. Like you said, it's a lot of points, but I think Saquon gets back in the end zone this week. You got to think too. They got to score, right? They're blue balled all week by the Dallas Cowboys. They got to be ready to roll. They got to be pissed. They're going. Isn't this game's in Arizona, right? They're going to be going into Arizona pissed off, ready to kick the shit out of the Arizona Cardinals. I think.
Definitely staying away from this. That's all I could say.
Going to be an interesting one there in Arizona. Another one, not sure what to think. A lot of these just mysterious games coming into week 2, I think. But this next one, another interesting one. I didn't realize the spread was this high. The Jets and the Cowboys in Dallas. Cowboys are the favorite here, minus 9.5. Their money line sitting at minus 510. The Jets plus 390, and the total sitting at 38.5. Both teams getting a win last week. Jets just squeaking out, but the Cowboys just putting on a show against those Giants. Trends I got: Cowboys 16-5 straight up in their last 21 games as the favorite, under 11-2 in the Jets' last 13 games, including 6 in a row. Cowboys winning 8 straight at home, and they're 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games in week 2. Mackie, your Cowboys, take it away.
Yeah, this sucks because this was supposed to be such a good game. Dak Prescott versus Aaron Rodgers, two pretty powerhouse teams coming into the season, but obviously we know what happened to Aaron Rodgers last week. So now we're seeing a 9.5 point spread instead of a 2.5. I don't know. I could definitely see that Jets defense giving Dak Prescott and that Cowboys offense a really hard time. I think it's definitely going to be more defensive. Jets are not going to get much going on offense at all. Anything I'd look into a team total under for them, but 9.5 points is way too much, and it's very easily coverable. Dak could have a bad game. Cowboys offense could just not be clicking. The offensive line could be off. A lot of things can go wrong in this game. I don't like a 9.5 point spread ever, but I lean an under, and I lean a Jets team total under. But Cowboys should definitely get the job done and go to 2-0 this week.
Yeah, I'm all over the under in this game. That's the play I like. I definitely want to take the Jets with the points so fucking bad, but I'm gonna be so pissed if Zach Wilson throws like 3 interceptions, and I'm gonna be like, why the fuck did you trust this team? But it's mainly because of that defense. I think that defense is able to keep it low scoring, and 9.5 points in a low scoring game. Like I do think Dak has his problems with this defense. I also think Zach Wilson has his problems with the Cowboys defenses, or with the Cowboys defense. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the under.
Yeah, there's
Jets
just so
off.
many points. So many points to like take. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys like to do weird shit at weird times. So like, I don't know if I'm taking 9.5 points for sure. That Jets defense is kind of scary. I like the underplay by you guys. I'm personally not going to do it, but I think I'm gonna go with I don't know, maybe a team. It's not a great play. I love. I'm not touching this game. The Cowboys are gonna win this game, and it's gonna be kind of an ugly one. I think 'cause both defenses are good. Dak Prescott will throw his first interception of the year, I believe, but I still think the Cowboys have their way with them. I don't know about 10 though. It's such a hard thing to do.
Dak's not throwing any picks.
Yeah, okay. Now he's gonna throw a lot. I like the Cowboys team though. I like them a lot. Still think they're gonna win the division, get another win here, add the Jets notch onto the belt. But I don't know. Not touch. I don't have as much confidence in them as I do the Niners yet. So it's a tougher draw as well. So yeah, I'm staying away here, sadly.
Alrighty, boys. Let's jump into our final 4 o'clock matchup before we jump into these Sunday and Monday primetime matchups. The Commanders and the Broncos in Denver. Denver, the favorite, -3.5. Their money line, -180. Commanders money line at +152, and the total at 38.5. Broncos not able to get it done last week, but the Commanders did. No trends for me on this one. Huff, why don't you start us off here? Broncos at home.
Yeah, obviously, I'm big on these Broncos coming into this year. They did not cover for Mackey last week in that spot against the Raiders.
They didn't even
Tough
win.
division. Yeah, I was gonna say a tough divisional matchup for them there. New look team. I think they bounce back here. I'm gonna take them with the points. I'm probably don't know if you'll see this officially on my card, but as far as what's going on with Washington Commanders, I definitely lean on Denver to get a win here at home. I like them with the 3 points. 3.5 is what I'm seeing, so I guess I got to settle for the 3.5, maybe even buy it to 3. But yeah, I like Denver to get back on track here and cover the spread.
I'm just not. I'm not betting on this game. I don't like the Commanders. That Broncos team so unproven. Sean Payton, you're a piece of shit talking all this shit about Nathaniel Hackett can't get the job done, and you blow that game, a divisional game at home against the worst team in your fucking division. Oh, it gets me so mad. I thought they had that locked in, but Sean Payton's a phony. He's a phony motherfucker. He thinks he can get the job done with Russell Wilson. He did the same exact thing Nathaniel Hackett did. Boils my blood, but I'm not. I can't bet on this Broncos team until they've proven themselves even a little. Just two bad teams here, in my opinion. I lean under. Neither team can really put the points up on the board.
That's a charged take from Mackey on the Denver Broncos. I think you're the only person that cares about that team more than Huff's fandom for him. But yeah, I mean,
Lost me money.
What a bunch of losers going in there and losing to the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, divisional matchups, so it's a lot tighter than you think, but I expect a lot more out of it. And I think, Mackey, you said it in one of our group chats the other day, the Broncos aren't winning shit this year. I really don't think they are. I think they're going to stick around in a lot more games. They're not going to be laughable like they were last year, but I don't think they're going to be very strong. I honestly think that the Commanders can steal this one, just solely based off that defense, but I'm not sold on them either. I think it's a low-scoring game. I like both quarterbacks to throw a pick. But Russ started out hot last week, and then he kind of simmered off, so I don't know. As I think about it, maybe the Broncos. I'm not touching this game either. I think it's going to be the ugliest one of the 4 o'clock slate. Expect a lot of turnovers from both sides, a lot of sacks, but maybe the upset by the Commanders. Why not?
I hope Nathaniel Hackett was sitting there laughing his ass off watching them blow it after all the shit he's heard from Sean Payton, all the shit he's just taken in from this team. Granted, he had a terrible year last year, but maybe the coach isn't the problem. I think Russ. I'm kind of buying into the fact that Russ is not ever going to be like he was in Seattle. Sorry, Huff, that might get you a little rattled.
Huff, do you enjoy watching him nowadays?
I
He's
didn't
not
even
the same
watch that.
player. You can't.
I didn't even watch that Broncos game.
Yeah, I didn't much either. Much better games on during that slate.
I actually lie. I did watch whenever the play I needed for that parlay. I hit, so in the order of those 3 legs, Hunter Henry scored first. Once Hunter Henry scored, I was like, I already had the Packers game on, so I was like, all right, fuck, now I got to turn on this.
Remember
Broncos.
when Jones literally got hurt too?
Yeah. I'm like, so the Broncos are driving on the field before half. Russ looked good in this, like you said, in the first half to start the game. Right before half, goes down the goal line, pointing to fucking Cortland Sutton, whips one at his chest, scores. I'm going nuts. I'm like, all right, Russ, let's see what we can do here. And then I just kept checking the score the rest of the second half. Didn't watch the game. I'm like, yep, blew it. That's what he's done in Denver. He just can't seem to find something there.
Yeah, I know, and it's crazy.
Should go to the Jets.
I remember watching the StatCast at the bottom of the game, bottom of the screen during the games when I was watching the Pats. I think I saw Russ was like 19 of 22 or something like that. I was like, damn, Russ is cooking. And then next thing I know, they're losing Jacoby Myers and Patriots South down there for the Raiders.
Yeah, terrible. Blew another game. Had it in the bag.
Definitely a more solid 4 o'clock slate there. Some good games that I'm excited for. But let's jump into this Sunday primetime matchup. The Dolphins at the New England Patriots. Dolphins the favorite here, going into Foxborough at -3. Their money line sitting at -152. Patriots money line at +128. Total at 46.5. Dolphins getting the win. Patriots were not able to. Here are the trends I got. Patriots 1-11 straight up in their last 12 games as the underdog, 2-10 against the spread, but they're 2 They're 12-2 straight up in their last 14 games at home against Miami. Overs 8-1 in Miami's last 9 games on the road. Dolphins 15-5-1 against the spread in their last 21 divisional games. Let's send it over. New England correspondent Ace Ventura. What do you got for us, Ace? Home in Foxborough.
Yeah, another home game here and another spotlight game. Had the Eagles last week. Now you get the primetime game against that hot Dolphins team. But I don't think anybody's going to be agreeing with me. I think the Patriots here on the money line. You might even see it on my card for that game. I think if they're going to stick around in this division, and they showed they could against a better team in the Eagles last week, then they have to win one of these home games here. Hopefully Huff can get bought into taking them at home again. But I know the Patriots are going to split with the Dolphins. They do it almost every year, and they always like to lose in South Beach down in Miami. So I think the Patriots get the job done here. I like our matchups with this team. We have the cornerbacks that can match up with these talented, speedy receivers. We have fast, talented corners. We have guys that can get after two with that weak O-line. We saw the pressure they put on Jalen Hurts behind that stellar O-line. What do you think they're going to do to Tua Tagovailoa? I'm be surprised if he doesn't take a few snaps off. On the other side of the ball, Patriots are going to have to get the job done again. Going to have to put points up. So it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a good matchup here on Sunday Night Football. Shout out the schedule makers, giving us great primetime games throughout. 2 more this week that we've already talked about. So I like the Pats on the money line here. Surprised me last week. I think we get Devontae Parker back too. Got to use those tight ends, and hopefully Mondre gets going as well.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of money on the Dolphins here, but it's a trap I'm definitely going to fall into. That offense is just way too good. And like you said you have the corners to match up with those speedy receivers. There isn't a corner in the league that can match up with Tyreek Hill. He can do whatever he wants. He's the quickest receiver in the league, most agile, and Tua is going to find him enough on this field. You took him over 6.5 catches last week for a reason, because he gets his catches, he gets his touches, and he's the fastest player in the league. Problem is, Patriots have to win their home games. You have a tough loss against the Eagles last week at home. You're in a divisional matchup here against the Dolphins. Like you said, they like to split with the Dolphins. If they're gonna, this is a game that they could win. It's a game they kind of need to win. You can't start 0-2 with 2 home losses. But like I said, I didn't think the Patriots are going to be that good at this year anyway. I think they'll keep it respectable, but I like the Dolphins to cover 3 points here. Could get away from them towards the end of the game.
The one thing that I did like in that game that I was just looking at and I kind of zoned out there, I think it's tough to say because I want to say it's a high scoring game because I do think the Patriots are able to hang in this, but then part of me thinks it's going to be low scoring. I do think it's going to be tough for the Patriots to start 0-2 at home. I'm hoping to have a teaser with the Patriots as one of the last legs in it to maybe get them maybe a 3-leg teaser, get them with 9-10 points is the last leg on Sunday Night Football, but I do not love this original spread at 3. I don't necessarily have a play on this one. I do like the one thing I was going to say is the Mackey brought up is you took the over 6.5 catches on him last week. I think I might have to take that this week. That seems like Tua just all default looks at him every single play. So
Could be a higher line this week, I bet.
Yeah, it'll be 7 or 8. It might be even 8.
Yeah, but one thing, are you guys going to be shocked if the Patriots win this game?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's a divisional game.
Divisional game, and the Patriots just proved they could do it with one of the best teams
How
in the
good?
league.
How good are the
I just said
Dolphins?
I'm leaning
I have the Dolphins to win the division. I have Tua as a dark horse MVP, but how good is this team?
They're good. They're very good. The defense is going to have to keep up with the offense a little more because they're going to be on the field a lot. That fast-paced offense, you're going to give the defense a lot of time to have to be out in that field. But it's not. There's not many offenses in this league that can keep up with that offense. So
The defense has
gets a few
holes, though.
stops. Tua is making passes that we have never seen him make before. That game-winning touchdown, absolute dot, just dropped it in there. I think it was Tyreek Hill. Didn't have to do anything. He caught it in the pocket.
How do you think they fare against the good defenses, though? You were saying how mid that Chargers defense is. How do you think they fare against the top end defense with good pressure? Because we know that O-line's weak.
We're going to have to see Tua scrambling. He's had his injuries in the past. He's not going to take a hit. So we're going to have to see that pass rush for the Patriots. It's going to be interesting, definitely. I think it could be definitely a slow start. Huff, you lean that under, maybe the first half under your play of every week.
I probably could in this one. I think it could start slow, but like you said, the Dolphins' offense is scary to take an over/under on, in my opinion.
It's a divisional matchup, prime time. The Patriots are home. It would not surprise me at all if the Patriots ended up winning this game. I'm so high on this Dolphins team. I have them going 13-4 this year. One of the losses definitely not being to the Patriots.
Sunday prime time matchup: Dolphins and Patriots in Foxborough. We'll be talking about that on our live stream Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Like I keep saying, let's jump into these Monday games. The New England Patriots. Oh my gosh, what did I just say? New England Patriots. New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Saints the favorites here in Charlotte. -3 here for the Saints. Their money line -178. And the total sitting at 39.5. Panthers money line +150. Saints winning their game last week, but the Panthers were not able to. Trends I got here: under 15-5 in the past 20 meetings between these clubs. Under is 10-1 in New England's last 11 games. Saints are 1-10 against the spread in their last 11 games played in week 2. And the Panthers are 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games as the underdog. Trends are leaning Panthers and the under. What do you guys got here? Monday night matchup. We're talking about it a little early, but we'll be talking about them here on releasing on Monday morning for those games. What do you think?
I'm back to defend these New Orleans Saints. I'm doubling down with them -3 here. I think it is a lower scoring game. It's a divisional matchup. I usually like taking the underdog with the points. I have nothing good to say about this Panthers team. I think that was a slow start for New Orleans. Derek Carr looked really good in my opinion for what they asked him to do. They weren't really unleashing him too much. He was kind of doing what the offensive coordinators was telling him, which I like. They have another week with Jamal Williams there on offense. That defense looked a little slow to start, but they got their turnovers, and they obviously only let up 15 points, didn't let up a touchdown all game. I'm all over the New Orleans Saints in this game. Give me the Saints -3.
I definitely lean Saints as well, but that's not my play here. My play is definitely the under. That Saints defense is stellar. Bryce Young can't get anything going with that Panthers offense. Panthers defense isn't terrible either. Brian Boyle on that side, like you said, we don't have J.C. Horn, but Derek Carr in that new offense has not looked very stable. They haven't looked very comfortable. They have a lot more things to work out. It's a divisional matchup. You're going on the road, prime time. So I don't love the 3 points. I absolutely love the under. I think this game very low scoring. One team could even the losing team should probably be single digits. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout either. So I love the under. What is it, 39.5? Yeah. Feed me that under. It's probably going to be on my card.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Saints here -3. I'm with Huff. I'm running it back this week. Don't like anything about that Panthers team, literally at all. I know their defense has some pieces, but I don't know how they're going to score. And that Saints defense is for real. I think they held a better Tennessee offense down. So you might see Saints -3 on my card. Actually, you definitely will. I'm going to take that this week. I like Derek Carr and Co to go 2-0 on their way to winning the NFC South.
Good stuff, boys. Let's move into this second Monday primetime matchup. Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Browns are the favorite here, 2.5 points for them. Their money line -126. Steelers money line +108. The total at 38.5. Browns able to get it done last week. Steelers just getting pumped by the 49ers. But here are the trends I got. Steelers 20-1 straight up in their last 21 Monday home games. Browns 1-19 straight up in their last 20 games at Pittsburgh. So a lot of history between the clubs. Under 7-1 in Cleveland's last 8 games. Under 10-3 in Pittsburgh's last 13 games at home. Trends are leaning Steelers in the under. What are we thinking here, Huff? Get us started. At home, you're going to this matchup.
Yeah, I will be in attendance for this one. Monday Night Football, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. This can be a big divisional matchup. Steelers obviously looked bad last week. Browns, the exact opposite. An absolute trouncing of the division favorite Bengals coming into Pittsburgh here as a 2.5-point favorite. Me going to the game, I'm obviously going to be on my Steelers. I do think it's a lower scoring game. I like the under, and the other play that I like that I want to get out there since there's going to be no Freiermuth and I'll be in attendance. I got to take a first touchdown. I'm going to go with my boy Pickens to get his first touchdown of the year and get in the end zone. I'll probably do the first team just in case. I like the insurance with that because I cashed that first team with the Steelers last week when the fucking score was like 17-0, and I'm still rooting for a touchdown, just like at crazy odds. So, I mean, the only touchdown of the game, if you took them anytime, it was what, plus 370, Jesse? And it was the only touchdown. I got it plus 650. So it's like it's the same exact thing. It's just you get the better odds. I know you take the chance with it, but give me George Pickens' first team touchdown, Steelers money line, and the under. Probably the first half under.
Yeah. What did I say about Deshaun Watson? I've been saying it all off season. I said it going into week 1. I like the Browns. I took the Browns, and Deshaun Watson looked absolutely stellar. Threw an interception, tipped ball, not really his fault, kind of a bad throw, but is what it is. But this offense absolutely rolling. Probably could have put up more points, but it was a rainy game. Not a lot of fast-paced offense going on either side. Nick Chubb fumbled in the red zone at one point. Easily could have been a touchdown. Put up 31 points if they scored there. That looks a lot worse than 31-3 looks a lot worse than 24-3 against the, like you said, division favorites in the Bengals before the season started. So I'm really high on this Browns team, but with that being said, going into Pittsburgh on Monday night is not easy at all. So I probably won't have a play on this game. I like the under. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to have a good game. Sean Watson with the spotlight on him might be a little worse than he was last week, but I'm not going to lean on Steelers at all. I definitely lean Browns -2.5. Steelers and Kenny Pickett really have to show me something before I can actually lean on that team, bet on that team. But I'm not going to have a play on the Browns. I like the under, might have a play there, but it should be a really, really good NFC or AFC North matchup on a Monday night game.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Steelers money line here. I believe I like them to get the job done. I'm not high on this Browns team, and Huff was talking me into it at the beginning of the pod. It's a Monday night. I know you were saying it the other day. What they got Renegade playing against the Niners. You're all hyped up because it was week 1, but that San
it's week
Francisco
one.
49ers team is fucking legit. That was Sunday at 1 o'clock. Monday at 8 o'clock against the Cleveland Browns divisional matchup in Pittsburgh. They'll little brother them once again. I think that defense is going to eat. That's going to be a slow, low-scoring game. Going to be a 3-point game either way, but I think that the Steelers can get this one done. I'll buy into the hype here. I know everybody else was on it last week, but I'm on it here. Great matchup for them at home, I think. I think Kenny Pickett can get going with those weapons against that weak secondary. I don't know. We'll see. I think they have a better chance than the Bengals did last week.
Alrighty, boys. Good stuff. I mean, we got lots to look forward to here in week 2 as we wind up all of our games here to review. Our live stream there on Sunday. That's all we got from week 2, I think. Anything else to add before we continue into some MLB and college football? Alrighty, let's jump into some MLB. That season's still, full steam ahead here as we approach the playoffs. Our power rankings for this week coming in at number 5, the Houston Astros. Number 4, the Tampa Bay Rays. Number 3, the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2, the Baltimore Orioles. And 1, the Atlanta Braves. Pretty solid list there. Astros in there at number 5. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, Ace, we've been calling for these Astros to get in here, and here they are. I think the only way is up from here for this Houston team, and they're catching fire at the right time.
About time they've gotten into this ranking. We've been waiting for it all year. Maybe they can win the division. Maybe they can win the World Series. Who knows? Yeah, MLB getting good. Playoffs are on the corner. Just got to wait out this kind of boring time in the MLB, in my opinion. I know the NL East or NL wild cards heating up a bit, but yeah, get me to the playoffs and get those Astros there as well.
Yeah, it's definitely the period where pay no attention to baseball until playoffs come around because you have other sports, but playoff baseball is still pretty electric.
Oh, absolutely. Monday Night Football or a NLDS game?
See, I got to value Monday Night Football a little more, but you can't pass up an NLDS game.
NLDS, yeah, it's not a bad one, but I'm going with
NLCS.
NLC, if it's championship series, you're watching.
No, I'm still taking Monday Night Football. It's too valuable. You gotta take in all these Monday Night games.
I fucking love football. Give me the football every time. But I'll definitely check in during the commercials.
That's why I do the 2 TVs. So you gotta have 2.
I do, but I don't know if I'm doing it for a baseball game. I really don't.
If it's a NLCS or if it's probably a playoff baseball game, yeah, that's for sure on the second screen. If it's a Monday night game, there's only one football game on.
Okay, what about next week? How there's 2 Monday Night Football games going on at the same time, and then they have a wild card MLB.
I won't even be able to watch that Saints game.
No, but I'm saying hypothetically.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing? I'm putting both football games on TV.
It depends what I bet. If I bet on that baseball game, I'm probably putting on that baseball game.
I'm putting on the 2 football. Easy.
I'm putting on 1 football game to stay, and then I'm flipping back and forth in the other TV.
Dude, I love playoffs. Nothing beats playoffs of any sport. I don't care what it is.
No, I know. I love baseball too, but I'm just saying I fucking am hyped about football right now. Like I am high on football.
But you're telling me you're taking them fucking Monday night Panthers Bucks NFC South matchup.
No, I'd flip.
Braves Dodgers NL championship.
I'm definitely watching a good amount of the football game.
Yeah, I'm not neglecting the football game, and I'm probably throwing money on it too.
I'd have an under so I can watch
The
the
day you
baseball
see
game.
me without a primetime play is the day I'm dead.
Alrighty, boys. One last point here in the MLB. Texas Rangers star pitcher Max Scherzer expected to miss the rest of the season with a strained teres major. It is unlikely he will be back for the playoffs. So big loss there for the Rangers. Mackey, I believe, shown us this here
Max heard
today.
about this one.
Ha ha, bitch ass. Nah, I don't like to see anyone go down, but you gotta laugh at this. Come on, this
I'm
is
not laughing at
absolutely
this.
hilarious. This
Him
is
and DeGrom both
hilarious.
hurt.
You guys see Frank? You guys see Frank the Tank react to this? He just starts cracking up. It's the best thing ever. But yeah, you hate to see a guy go down like this. The Rangers might have missed the playoffs to begin with in the first place, so it might not even have to be a problem for Max Scherzer to rehab that whatever the hell Tebis is. What the fuck is that?
Adolis Garcia getting knocked out is another big blow for the Rangers. They need to get to full strength, but
You don't think this is funny at all? Not even a little. As a Mets fan,
I'm not. I don't like this Rangers team to begin with too much. So
no, but I would have liked to have seen Scherzer pitch.
as a Mets fan, it's absolutely hilarious because he shit on us when he left. So
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
know. It
Yeah.
is fucked. He's like, I want to go play for a contender. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Tough season.
and have a 4.0 ERA.
Joey Lucchesi season, dude.
Alrighty, let's jump into some college football here before we get going. Shadur Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes picked up another win this past weekend and will move to be 2-0 on the season. It's Colorado University. Their -2.5 took down Nebraska 36-14. Shadur threw for 393 yards, 2 touchdowns, and added a touchdown on the ground. College game day will be in Colorado this weekend for Colorado versus Colorado State. Can the Buffs move to 3-0 before heading to Oregon next weekend? And another question I have, the sports books are catching on. How many points are they're going to be, this weekend? What are we thinking? College football.
I said it last week. I said I don't care how much of the public is on this team. They are too good. Dion has this team too ready each week. I don't know what the line is on this Colorado State game, but I don't know if I'll be taking it this week. The one I have my eyes on next week is when they're a big underdog against Oregon. I'm definitely taking them with the points in that game. I don't know about the money line, but this Colorado team just continues to prove people wrong. I'm not saying they were proving anyone wrong as they were favored in that game at a home spot against a Nebraska team that struggled week one. But I think Shadur Sanders continues to just have a great season. He adds a rushing touchdown on the ground. Now has 7 touchdowns in the air. He's just putting up a really good case for him to have honestly a Heisman season. I hate to say that, but I don't hate to say that because I did see this coming with all the hype for Colorado, but they're must-see TV every week. I said it last week and the week before. I think College Game Day got it right going there this week. There's not too many great games. Obviously, our West Virginia Mountaineers have a big one this week, but they haven't done anything to deserve College Game Day in the past 2 years. So I think there's a reason they skipped over Morgantown this week.
Yeah, just Colorado team. I think Vegas took their biggest loss maybe ever on Saturday. With Colorado covering the spread. I think they had 90% of the money on them, and 25% of all of the college football bets were on this game. So that's just an absurd amount of money on Colorado to cover, and they did it. This is the next best thing in college football. Probably the best story since Johnny Manziel, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a few of them along the way that are close, but I'm going to give it to him. The Dion effect, man. It's real. It's real. I like this Colorado team. It's going to be interesting to see that spread next week against Oregon because they go into Oregon, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be.
They're 20.5-point dogs right now, or at least they were last week before they beat Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, you're going to. I think you could see it down to maybe like 14.
Dude, I seriously think they can win the game. I'm not even kidding.
Can't count them out, right?
That's the only thing that scares me is 90% of Americans think the same way I am, but I truly think they can win the game.
Alrighty, let's keep going. Number 11, Texas takes down number 3, Alabama in Tuscaloosa by a score of 34-24 this past weekend. Texas came into the game as a 7-point underdog. Quinn Ewers can add his name to the list of quarterbacks that have gone into Tuscaloosa and taken down a top 5 ranked Alabama team. Impressive feat. Them just being on top year after year. Mackey, Huff, what are you guys thinking about this one?
I think Alabama's dead. I don't think it's the same Alabama as what we grew up watching our whole life. I think this team is a lot different. The organization's a lot different. I think Georgia is the big brother of the SEC now. Obviously, it's easy to say with the back-to-back national titles, but it's just year in and year out now. We're seeing Alabama just lose games. I'm not overlooking a number 11 Alexis team or Texas team with Quinn Ewers, but last year the Tennessee game, last year the Texas game. Year before, I forget who they lost to in the SEC, but they just continue to lose games, and now they're losing these games in their home field, and that used to be unheard of. 5 years ago, this Alabama team's a 20-point favorite against Texas, but Texas's program has gotten a lot better, and I think Alabama's on the other way. I'm not big on this Alabama team. They're probably the rest of this year. I'm not really I hate to overreact here, but because they get fucking some cupcake this week, but um, I really don't think this Alabama team is anything special.
I think that's a crazy statement to say that Alabama's done for. You got to remember, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right before Georgia went on this little run, they did win a national championship. So definitely, they're not going any.
LSU.
No, they won the year before. Alabama won 2020. It was the COVID year.
Okay, yeah, you're right. COVID year. I forgot about that one.
I mean, they might have a down year this year just because they can't really figure it out at quarterback. They don't really know. I don't think either quarterback they go with is really the answer. But this organization isn't going anywhere, and they still get the top best recruits. This Texas team's really good. Quinn Ewers is very good. The whole entire team is built pretty well. You know how hard it is to go into Alabama and win a game by double digits. It says a lot. That's why Texas is up to number 4 at this point in the AP poll. But Alabama's not going anywhere. They might not be the powerhouse this year that they've always been. I think if Nick Saban can figure it out at quarterback, maybe go with that Buckner's guy, I think his name is, from Notre Dame. If they can get maybe they get him in there, he can roll something with them. But this Alabama, this team is definitely not done for. The years to come, they're still going to be in the conversation. Um, it's just a really good Texas team this year. They might actually finally be back.
We got another good week of college football coming up. Let's review the AP top 10 coming into this week. Alabama sticking around in the top 10, coming in at 10. 9 Notre Dame, 8 Washington, 7 Penn State, 6 Ohio State, 5 Southern Cal, 4 Texas, 3 Florida State, 2 Michigan, and 1 still at the top, Georgia. Any comments on that before we look ahead at this weekend?
Look at Ohio State just keeps falling after they're winning games. Just keep falling. Obviously, they're not putting up performances they should. But
I was going to say Penn State and Washington haven't moved. Washington did after the first week, I think, but Penn State's consistently been sitting there at 7. I like this top 4. I'm not big on this Texas team still. I think they'll find somewhere to slip up, but I guess they've just beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. You have every reason to be high about them, so I guess they got it right. So we'll see what happens. I mean, everyone's still the only one-loss team in the top 15 is, or no, LSU has a loss. So LSU and Alabama are the only two the only two teams in the top 15 with a loss. Actually, in the whole top 25 with a loss.
Huff, let's give a way too early college football playoff prediction.
I think Florida State's a lock for it. I really think that their game to win was LSU. I like Florida State a lot. I don't think they're going anywhere. They get Boston College this week, Clemson next week, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Duke, Wake Forest, Pitt, Miami, North Alabama, and Florida. The only other ranked games are Duke and Miami.
And Duke,
Yeah. And both are home games. Both are in Florida State. I think Florida State's a lock for the college football playoff. I think that was their big game to win. I like Florida State, and really, it's going to come down to probably that USC. Like I said, I think Texas might lose one, but this could be their year. So a lot of people are saying this is Texas' year because could Texas stay there, but I think it's between Texas, USC. I like Penn State, dude. I like Penn State. I really think that they could surprise people and slide into that number 4 spot.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be until they beat Ohio State or Michigan.
I was going to say, I think the winner of that Michigan Penn State game is going to come out of the Big Ten and represent in the college football playoff, one of the two. I think USC is going to get in. I think Caleb Williams is on a new level this year. Defense hasn't been tested yet. They will, but it doesn't really matter. Caleb Williams is putting up 5 touchdowns a game. His performances are absolutely ridiculous. So give me USC to get in. Give me either one of Michigan and Penn State to get in. Give me Georgia, and give me Florida State as well. I think Florida State gets in that cupcake schedule in the ACC, especially with Clemson being who they are.
Yeah.
God damn, not it this year. Dabo's
Yeah,
Dabo's in
there's
trouble.
there's not even too many good games this weekend. Like these three that I pulled here for us to look at, like Jesse's Penn State Nittany Lions at Illinois, just a Big Ten matchup. I like Penn State with the points there. I
14
didn't,
and a half there for Penn State.
yeah, I didn't look too much into that game. I do like Penn State to cover that. Could be a lower scoring game. Then we have number 11 Tennessee, a 6.5 point favorite at Florida, and then obviously Pitt at West Virginia, the backyard brawl. It's an even money line. I like West Virginia to get the job done. I'm not sold on Pitt. That loss that they had last week on their home turf against Cincinnati. I think West Virginia is able to get the job done in the prime time in a big matchup, but I also would be so West Virginia to let Pitt come in there and just fucking kill us. I know it would be.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. I mean, they had him last year, and I think this team is pretty similar to last year. But it fell apart, obviously, in Pittsburgh. So West Virginia's got to defend home court in the backyard brawl. Oh, to the rest of this world, this is not a very big game at all. But you guys all know, I know that this is a huge game for the West Virginia community, and obviously Pitt too. You got to defend home court.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. I like West Virginia. I'll probably bet on West Virginia in this game for sure.
Alrighty, boys, good stuff. College football going to be a great weekend ahead. NFL week 2 in the we're ready to rumble. Week 1 in the books. Week 2 is up this weekend. Lots to look forward to. Our Sunday live stream, 10 a.m. On Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, all over the place. We want to see you guys in the chat. Make sure to like, subscribe to those. Check us out on all our social medias. But that's everything I have this week. Week 2 of the NFL. Anything else to add, boys?
Yeah, that's gonna do it for me this week. Like you said, week 2. We'll see you guys Sunday morning for the stream.
Yeah, hype for the stream this week was a good one last week. Some good games going, so be on the lookout for that.